We visited the Saposo Rainforest Adventures, an indigenous tourism organization founded by members of the Nassau Tier D community, located within the La Amistad International Park. It has been designated as a World Heritage Site by the United Nations and contains Central America's largest intact tropical rainforest. This tourism site offered us a first-hand experience of what it means to be part of the Nassau Tier D ethnic group, while also guiding us through the Panamanian rainforest and providing insights into their indigenous culture. This form of indigenous tourism supports the Nassau Tier D community in preserving their traditional lifestyle while generating a sustainable source of income. As social and economic changes continue to push many Nassau individuals away from their villages and traditional way of life, Saposo Rainforest Adventures plays an important role in helping the community reconnect with and appreciate their cultural heritage and natural environment. Not only is community involvement a part of Saposo's vision, but they also have a strong environmental commitment. For example, they utilize environmentally friendly techniques in their business, including solar energy, composting latrines, and organic gardens that visitors and locals can visit. We visited a house where we'd be preparing for a hike and eventually eat lunch. From there, we headed into the rainforest for a bird watching tour, where we saw the beautiful purple-throated fruit crow and motmot species. On this hike, we learned about some of the conservation practices that the Saposo Rainforest Adventures uses in order to assess the wildlife within their forests, such as motion detector video cameras. After our hike, we enjoyed a lunch prepared by a community member, Virginia, using locally harvested ingredients. We then took a short drive to the Turibe River and watched how traditional balsa wood rafts are made. To end the experience, we rafted down the river as a guide safely navigated us through the rapids. This part of the day was our group's favorite because it allowed us to deepen our understanding of Nassau culture while becoming fully immersed in the lush rainforest of the Bocas del Toro province. All activities offered by Saposo are rooted in the Nassau, otherwise known as Turibe, culture. The Nassau have been the inhabitants of the mountainous jungle region of the northwestern corner of Panama since long before the Spanish colonizers ever arrived in Central America. Today, the remaining Nassau live in 11 small communities located along the Turibe River amid the La Amistad National Park. The Nassau people still do not have an officially recognized comarca. As a result, many have been forced to leave their communities and traditional way of life in search of work in urban areas. Saposo Rainforest Adventures was established 18 years ago to provide an alternative, one that allows the Nassau to earn a living while staying connected to their deep ecological relationship with the forest and to share with visitors what it truly means to be a part of the Nassau Tier D community. The UN Sustainable Development Goals were developed in 2015 as a blueprint to sustain the world systems while maintaining peace and prosperity for the planet and all people. There are 17 different goals, ranging from gender equality to wildlife protection. Saposo is centered around two specific goals, SDG 8 and SDG 15. The United Nations website states that SDG 8's goal is to promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. In Indigenous communities, this goal is especially important, as these communities are often the ones exploited. It is crucial to balance sustainable economic growth with respect for the community and culture. In regard to Saposo, this means sustainable tourism processes. To achieve Target 8.9, nations must devise and implement policies to promote sustainable tourism that creates jobs and promotes local cultures and products. Saposo has created a sustainable tourism operation, specifically through community-based tourism. Not only has it created jobs for Nassau people, but it also introduced tourists to Nassau culture and land. Sustainable Development Goal 15 requires member states to protect, restore, and promote sustainable use and management of terrestrial ecosystems and combat desertification, biodiversity loss, and land degradation. Saposo is home to a vast rainforest in the Turibe River. Despite relying on the forest and river's resources, the Nassau have strict regulations that prevent exploitation and overuse, such as the harvesting of trees and overfishing. Through these practices, they are reducing the degradation of natural habitats, halting the loss of biodiversity, and preventing extinction of threatened species as seen in Target 15.5. Additionally, through managing the forest sustainably, taking into account their reliance on natural resources, following 15.2. Despite Saposo being a small-scale community-based tourism operation, they outshine many others in the industry in regards to the Sustainable Development Goals. Saposo offers numerous activities for visitors to experience the traditional Nassau culture, such as lessons in Nassau language, performances of traditional dances, and opportunities to learn traditional cooking and fishing. Venture into the incredibly biodiverse tropical rainforest and look for the elusive purple-throated fruit crow, the slaty-tailed Trojan, or quintessential yellow-throated toucan, all while being surrounded by ancient rainforest growth, home to jaguars, kinkajous, and armadillos. At the end of your day, sit on a traditional balsa river raft and float down the Taribe River, the basis of Nassau life, listening to the chorus of frogs and birds in the forest lining the riverbanks. As Panama has become more and more developed, several of the country's other indigenous tribes have received large parcels of land, called comarcas, from the Panamanian government as their own. However, the Nassau do not have a comarca status for their land. Visit Saposo and the World Heritage Site of La Amistad Biosphere Reserve to support the local economy and the preservation of the Nassau culture and ecosystem.